A hiker who was lost and badly dehydrated was rescued by Cochise County Search and Rescue in Lutz Canyon, south of Sierra Vista.
In southeastern Arizona, June and July are generally the hottest months of the year.
At Sabino Canyon today, first responders rescued 2 people who were suffering from heat stress.
And because the forecast high on our hike was 90+ degrees, and the last few miles of this hike have very little shade,
rescued 2 dehydrated elderly hikers near the Tucson mountains.
We did a few things that I'll point out along the way to lower our risk of running into issues with the heat. Today I'm doing a loop hike starting at the Ramsey Vista Campground at the top of Carr Canyon. We'll pick up Comfort Spring Trail, then turn left onto the Hamburg Trail for about a quarter of a mile to the Pat Scott Canyon Junction. Then we'll head up Pat Scott to the Crest Trail and finally pick up the Carr Peak Trail and loop down back to our start point. We met up at a parking area at the bottom of the canyon.
So I already got heat exhaustion once.
And carpooled up the 5 miles of narrow, rutted dirt road up to the trailhead.
Bugs to stay true. Which way did he go? Yeah.
The first thing we did was start the hike at 7 o'clock rather than 8 as originally planned. This means we hike in the shade through the most strenuous part of the hike, and we'll be done with the elevation gain before 10 o'clock while it's still plenty cool. No, not that kind of high. Another way to lower your risk of heat issues is to hike at high elevations, where it's cooler. By heading up to the Ramsey Vista Campground to start our hike, we're starting at an elevation of 7,500 feet and going up to 9,000 feet. This means the temperature will be 5 to 10 degrees lower than the temperature in Sierra Vista. Also, we're hiking the route counterclockwise so that we get the more difficult uphill climb out of the way during the coolest part of the hike.
Today we're talking about going up Hamburg as opposed to Pat Scott.
I mean, Hamburg is steeper,
I know.
but it's overall 2 miles shorter.
Is it 2 miles? We didn't know.
Yeah, it's 2 miles shorter.
Me.
Well, I'd do Hamburg. I think it's going to get hot. And I think
A couple of miles in, at the Hamburg Trail junction, see you later. Several folks headed back for various reasons, and the rest of us decided to shorten our route from 12 miles to a little over 9 by hiking to the Crest Trail on Hamburg Trail rather than on the longer Pat Scott Canyon route. We took a short break at Bear Saddle after the steepest part of the hike to catch our breath and cool off. And then from the saddle, it's another steep mile along the Crest Trail, after which we took a longer break.
Oh, yeah. Till we get over here, then it'll all be down.
There's a copper tone to let you tan fast, not burn, and help keep your skin looking beautiful.
If you're as old as I am, you grew up when we all wanted a tan.
And you too.
These days, most of us are trying to avoid funding our dermatologist's boat payments, and we shade ourselves with hats and long sleeves.
A hiker who was lost and badly dehydrated was rescued by Cochise County Search and Rescue in Lutz Canyon.
It never hurts to carry an emergency extra liter of water in your pack, and lots of hikers add electrolytes to their fluids to help replace the salt and minerals you lose when you sweat. This is especially true on a hike like this one, when the last few miles of the hike are mostly in the sun. That said, we planned our route so that they're downhill miles, which means we can hike quickly and get back to our car to cool off in the AC. A lot of mining took place right here, which is why the very last section of trail is especially rocky. The very end gets wider because, like many other trails in the Huachucas, it needed to be wide enough for wagons carrying ore from the mines and wood from the sawmill that was once here. Hot weather doesn't have to keep you off the trail, but it does require some extra planning to avoid being a news headline. See ya. Before you head out on a hike on a hot day, spend some extra time to think your route through. Ours changed from a 12-mile hike starting at 8 o'clock to a 9-miler with a 7 a.m. start, and an extra break along the way. Protect yourself from the sun, carry extra water, and you'll avoid being the hiker that has to get rescued off the trail. And I'll see you on the next hike.
I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since '99. What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along.